This is Funk Your Ride. Behind me, we've got a regular RV, and we're gonna funkify it, baby. We're gonna make it my delicious Mold Mobile 2.0. Some real flavor that you can just taste. Some flavor that you can savor. Welcome to Funk Your Ride. Let's get to it. We've got a tremendous amount that we've got to staple. First thing is first, we're gonna take some measurements and we're gonna try and get as big of pieces as possible to be able to make this somewhat easy, right? It's not going to be easy, but we're going to try our best here. 5 feet is going to go there. So then we'll do just crude measurements here. We'll do by 5 feet first off the bat. We've got some really delicious fur. So, all right, here we go. All right, we're gonna switch to the GoPro. We want to get a more detailed view of everything. We already have a pretty decent start here. It's looking pretty delicious. If you ask me, we've got the frosted tips. We don't like to see as much bounciness as possible. We could just start and then we get to the refining, you know what I mean, where we could just refine everything. We want to get it up as quick as possible. We want to get this done as quick as possible. That's my motto, you know what I mean? Slap it together and make it look really nice. We've run into our first little problem here, which is we've got to get this light right here attached. So we got to unscrew it. I need to wear glasses. I need to go see if I can find some clear glasses because I'm getting all sorts of stuff in my eyes, you know what I mean? And I really just don't want to be eating plastic. So that being said, we are right here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut a slit into this fur and then we're gonna be able to slide that light on. So let's go ahead. Now I got a pair of scissors right here. So we'll get this pair of scissors and we'll see what we can do. We want to make this look nice. So let's get an idea of where that's going to be. So starting about right there. Where did I just put those scissors? Starting right there. Just want to cut. These scissors are rusty. So let's just poke a hole. There we go. Poked a hole in it. And then we just need to get it big enough for this to just slide on through. There we go. Now we've got it. Now we can get back to it. Same thing when you run into a thing like this here. You just want to look at the line and then we'll start from an end. There we go. We cut it enough and that should just be able to tear nicely. There we go. So staple, you know what I mean? Just get in there and make this thing look nice. Bada bing, you know what I mean? Just get in here and just start getting to it. You just want to get as much staples in as possible. We bought a whole slew of staples. So that's always nice to see, you know what I mean? Here we go. And then a bang, bada bang. Are we out of staples? We are going to be going through so many staples. This thing is going to be made of staples. But look at that. Check that out up there. It's looking pretty tasty already. And we like that. We like to taste things. We don't like to look at things. We want to taste it. You know what I mean? So there we go. Just get as many staples as possible so this thing isn't flying all over the place. There we go. That's good enough for now. Bada bing. Now we'll get another measurement and we'll do another. That's the reality. This, what do we got here? Smoke detector. If this thing's smoking, we're gonna know. So we'll just staple right over that. I don't even care. All right, new cut. Let's get to it. Let's do it. What are we looking at? Looking at about 19 inches. 19 and a half inches there. That's what we'll go for. So we'll go inside and we'll get some more fur. You know, we'll do. It's just what we'll do. All right, we're cooking up a thirst, all right. All right, go get another sheet. All right, 19 and a half. That's about right. Just cut there with a nice little tear. All right, got our next piece of fur. Start at one end. Give a staple. We just do corner to corner, and then you could just stretch it across. Looking good. It's more important that we get this line figured here more than anything. So just staple. You know what I mean? Just get in there and get as many staples as possible. You know, again, it to be pretty in the beginning. Do the whole thing, you know, as best can, and then you could go back and refine it. Ooh yeah, got a cramp hand already. I do have another staple gun to try if this one starts getting aggressive. But as the time goes, we'll just get in here and we'll just get to stapling. It's what we need to do. Bada bing, just like that, you've got a whole new panel. So let's run down the middle. There it is. All right, next line, another measurement. So we could wait on this because on this little part here, we want to get as much done as possible, right? In one go. Let's get a little measurement on that. We're gonna do about 41 inches there, okay? 41 inches, and we're gonna run into another light here that we're gonna need to take down. Hopefully we don't lose the screws, because that's gonna be a real son of a gun trying to find. Oh yeah, I meant some glasses too, so I don't destroy my eyeballs with plastic and debris. Just get this hanging. Okay, now that's okay, we set about inches. All right, let's go get 41 inches and let's see if we can find a pair of clear glasses. Maybe we get lucky, maybe we don't. You know what? I've got a pretty decent pair that I could wear. Let's tear on this. All right. Okay, so I got a decent pair of glasses. You know, I've got the Ray-Bans. Flex a little tiny bit, you know, it's not a flex, but you gotta love them. All right, now, another fun part here. Getting to it. So that's what you gotta do. Where's that staple? How are we looking on staples? Looking all right. Here we go. We've got our first point. Oh, that stretches out perfectly. Perfectly to the side. We love that. So, does it? Or am I tripping here? Gotta sometimes get creative, you know, and we'll get into any of that creativity, you know, but right, I think I did mess up a little bit. So let's just go ahead and tear that down. You know, if you just pull a staple or two, you know what I mean? More importantly, we want to get that as flush as possible. Now we can stretch it across. You know what? No, did we messed up that bad? Well, this is what happens. You mess up, you just pull it down. I want to get that as flush as possible. We want to be able to make sure we're getting this correct here. It's more like will destroy your neck. So take your time. It's getting really hot. You gotta love that. This is always a workout. Always will be. Now we've got a basis of where this is gonna be, right? So again, let's get those scissors. Doggy, all right. I remember the pain. The pain is always the best part. No pain, no gain, the saying. So let's puncture that. We got to puncture. You just rip it enough so you can get this light in without causing too much of a hassle, right? Because now that's it. Bada bing, we go back to stapling, just like that. All right, guys, this is gonna be really tasty here. The white frosted tip is just with the blue underneath is just like, woo! So really, really gonna be happy with that. Let's get a cut on that. There we go. Nice. So, honestly, this is where we start getting little scraps here, which is nice in the end when you start working at it. So, let's get a nice flush situation going on there. Give this sucker another cut and check that out. Bada bing. We've got a little piece that can just hang out over there. And now we get that nice flush situation going on. Check that out. And we're out of staples. Another thing, we bought a bunch of staples, so I'm not too worried about it. But we've got a lot to do. A lot to take care of. You know, what's the time? 42% battery. Okay, we're looking pretty decent. We're happy with that. Let's go for the next measurement. All right. So when you start getting little pieces like this is where you're looking, something like that. Bada bing, that's gonna work. So let's do it. We're here, we got the piece, so let's just do it. Check that out. Bada bing. We're happy with that. All right, now, new measurement. Here we go. Now, this is where some trickiness is gonna go down. We've got this piece to work around, which is gonna be kind of a son of a gun. I'm not gonna lie, it really is. So, what can I do to make that easy? I've done this before, but how do we do it, right? Let's just go ahead and take that off. see what we're working with, right? Love that. Love having just debris just fall. It's my favorite. Now we've got something to work with here. All right, let's go ahead. Switch this camera around. Nice little shot back there. So I'm thinking long ways. So that being said, what can we do, right? What can we do? We don't want to go too far. So we might just have to do this little tiny, you know what? Let's just start from here. Let's do a shoot right here. So we'll do 31 and a half. Let's just do 31. 30, oh, well, we got back here. So how long is this, right? That's 38. So let's do 38. We're gonna have to recut that. Let's just do 38, and then maybe it could drag over nicely into this situation right here. Maybe it won't, right? So let's go get a 38 sheet. Again, you could be kind of sloppy. It really doesn't matter because you're gonna be reworking a lot of things. So just remember that. All right, we're back with another sheet of fur. Let's get to it. So we're gonna be doing a stretch from here to there. Remember, everything can be kind of sloppy because the patchwork comes out really cool. And so just keep that in your back pocket. You know what I mean? Gosh, remember how much work all this is. And the reason why I didn't film the last one is it's a lot to film and do it. You know what I mean? So, you know what? I'm gonna have to rip that down because we got another thing to unscrew. We got another light to unscrew. Let's get our scissors. Let's get our screw gun. And let's do it. There we go. Now, once again, down where that hole is, you know what? Let's get this nice here. Let's make sure this is nice so we're not cutting in the wrong area. We don't want to be cutting in the wrong area now, do we? You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, if we could just give a nice little find, Eureka, we struck gold. Here we go, we just poke a hole right on through, just like that. Give a little tear, bada bing, and now you got something to work with. I'll just do a little of that, and it's up. Now we don't have to worry. So, let's get back to stapling. That's what we gotta do. Staple, it's the name of the game here. You gotta know your vehicle. Some vehicles you can't staple. Some vehicles you get lucky. That's why I like working with them RVs, because you got wood paneling everywhere, left and right. It's just the easiest way to go about it. And when you got a little wood that you could just staple right into. Starts getting a little challenging when you gotta do spray adhesive. The spray adhesive definitely makes it more of a challenge, more work. So we try and get this as easy as possible. It's the name of the game. We're already putting a lot of work in, so the easier we got it for ourselves, the better, if you know what I mean. And check that out, we just got ourselves a nice little scrap piece. So let's go ahead, staple the rest of this down. Here we go. Check this out. So we just got our back roof done. We're looking good. We almost have the whole ceiling done. We almost have the whole thing done, which is really cool to see. A lot of fun. This might stretch across perfectly right here. Not really. Not a nice stretch, at least. How about this? Same kind of deal. It's just a little too big, right? So, well, let's do. Is that gonna fit perfectly? Looks like it is. So let's go ahead and do it. We like to find it, and we found it. So it's all right if it's overlapping a little bit. Not that big a deal. It's gonna make for a unique look. Check this out, we're gonna have another piece of scrap. Get those scissors. It's cooking in here, let me tell you. And it's gonna be even more hot when this fur gets all said and done. Check that out. Now we got another little tiny piece that is gonna work nice somewhere. Got all these cans here. Just set that up there. All right. My neck is feeling it. I'll tell you that. But who cares? This is the price of the show, price of the work. That's what you gotta deal with. Check that out. Bada bing. Oh, wow, it's coming together. Just like that. It's coming together. All right, we got ourselves another piece here. I think it might go perfect here. Yes, it is. That's what we like. This is why we like cutting large. because we wind up with some tasty scraps. And then you're completing these challenging spots, right? That's what's nice about it. Put it back. You know, we'll try and line it up as best as possible, but if it don't, and that's all right. I'm not worried if you're not worried. You know what I mean? Oh, that's a stretch. This is where things get fun here. It likes to get hung up in fur easily. You really gotta watch out. I am doing a terrible job there. I guess I didn't line it up. There we go. There it is. All right, bada bing. That's a stretch. Doesn't have to look pretty. It does not. It's just gotta work. That's all it's gotta do. As long as it works, I don't care. But you gotta watch out for the fur because it gets tangled. Oh man, come on. Wow, we messed up here. See if we can work it. Like I say, it's just gotta work. That's all I care about. There it is. So now, even if we don't get this last screw in, it's holding. So I don't care. Don't bother me none. If it don't bother you, check that out. Bada bing, let's get this open because it is hot in here. Man, we should have cleaned that out, but we didn't. So, hey, that's all right. We'll get it from the top. Check that out. All right, now. Oh, wow. Guys, we're good. We're looking really good. All we have to do is this panel right here. That's all we've got to do. And then the ceiling's done. So, that's exciting. That's going to fit nicely right there. All right. Check this out. Check us out. We're getting it done. We're getting it done quick and easy. That's what it's all about. Come on. I'm happy. It's looking really delicious. The fun part is when we start getting into all this wall, it is not going to be easy getting these really tiny pieces. You know what I mean? But we're going to do it. Don't you worry. We're going to get it done. And it's going to be nuts. This wall, I wish was a little thicker because we don't want staples sticking through now, do we? We're not going to be able to do fur here because we got a burner. All right. Wow. God, this is a lot of work, but this is what we love. This is what we do. Check this out, guys. Oh, that fur is looking tasty. I am liking the way that's looking. I'm liking that a lot. This phone shouldn't have even been in here, honestly. It just shouldn't have been. But that's all right. Wasn't even charging. Gotta love that. Got to love that. What's next? Honestly, I think I would like to do a little bit of cohesiveness. I was gonna do different colors on the ceiling side, but honestly, now that I think about it, I might just go, I've got enough of this blue here. I might just try and do that whole ceiling one color. That's what I might try and do. A little tricky. You just gotta think it out sometimes. You just gotta think it out. So, let's see if we could get this little triangle to a place of our liking. Right there. Let's get it going on real quick. All right, now. Let's see. Can we get a cut? We will. Will it work? It will. All right. So, thought I ran out of staples again. I was going to say, man, we're cooking through these. All right. Let's see what we can do with this little guy right here. Let's just see if we can work it. You know what I mean? Probably can. All right. That's not what we wanted to do. That's not what we wanted to do. Check that out. That's working nicely. And we got a perfect patch for it. That's what we like to see right there. This will be your and I's little secret. Check that out. Bada bing, just like that. How about it, right? How about it? Do need to get that little piece there. Let's see what we can do here. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I will do a different color. I think I will. I think I've got enough fur to do a different color there. So, that being said, let's see if we can just work some patches here. Let's start with this big one here and just go from there. Right? That's what we'll do. Bada bing. You just gotta sometimes bada bing it and it's gonna be running. All right. We are cooking. I'm liking that. I'm liking it. All right, this is gonna cover it. I'm certain of it. No, I'm not. I am no longer certain of it, but we are gonna try. Cut right here, a little slicey slice. So, and then that do about there. We'll get another slice, another little cut. with our rusty scissors. Once again, if you check that out, I'm not too worried about little cracks because we're gonna have lights galore going on. Maybe that's the next episode, maybe not. We never know what's gonna happen. We really don't. But that fills up perfectly right there. That's perfect. Another cut, and we're out of staples. Gotta love it. Glad I bought more. Went down to the store today. Got myself as many staples as I could get my hands on. Check that out. Now we got another panel. Bada bing. So that's kind of a perfect one. So let's see if we can work this right here. It's looking like we can, can't we? Check that out. Check that out. How about that? And just like that, we're about done. All right, we got a couple of little scraps, but it's not going to fit here, but that's all right. We don't need it to. Guys, wow, it's looking really tasty here. You know what? I could use this scrap right here. That's what I could do, and that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get up there because we're gonna put another fur on the wall, right? So we don't need that, right? So let's cut it about right there. Check that out. Check that out. I think that's gonna cut it. Is it gonna cut it? It's not, and it's close. But get this. We're gonna do a little magic here so we can get another little cut. We don't need that much. So get another cut about right there. Check that out. We've got one patch. Look at there. We're gonna make this work. Is that big enough? Oh man, it's close. All right, we'll do this. Check this out. It's just about, but we'll use this. That's gonna be perfect right there. Look at here. Guys. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we just finished the ceiling. Just like that. Just like that. Wow, I've got chills right now. This is looking really tasty here. How are we looking on time? Wow, we're gonna end it right here. Guys, this is a second episode, Funky Old Ride. Ceiling done. Wow, stay tuned for next week. We're gonna be doing all the walls. It's simple as that.